Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Happiest Hour on Earth episode. It's been 2 weeks now since we came out with an episode. Last week, Emily's birthday was on the 2nd, and then Halloween was 2 days before that, and then it was just a crazy week. And so we had so much fun celebrating Halloween, which if you didn't see, go to our reels. I was Walt Disney, Emily was like OG Minnie Mouse, and then her son was Mickey. So much fun. And then celebrating your birthday was just great as well. And so we had a fun week off, just having a good old time celebrating. And so this week we are back, and we just thought, we've been listening to a lot of Disney music, and we were like, you know what, it'd be really fun to rank our top 15 Disney soundtracks. And this is very, very tough.
So hard to do, you guys.
Yeah, it might be totally off from what you guys have, but you guys let us know in the comments below or on Instagram what your top albums are. This was a really, really tough list, but I think we got it close enough to what we both think. So
I think so. We have it narrowed down, and it was not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
But I think it's about as close as it's gonna get.
Yeah. So we're super excited to jump into this topic. But before we jump in, if you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. If you're listening on a podcasting platform, definitely go ahead and follow us. And if you would be so inclined to write a review on Apple Podcasts, hit us up, DM us, letting us know that you did so. And we're going to send you over some stickers and a beer glass with our logo on it. So, taking time out of your day to write something nice about our show means so much to us. And so we just want to give back to you guys. But with that, should we go ahead and jump in?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right, so before we get chatting about Disney soundtracks, I'm going to introduce our drink. If you're watching on YouTube, you can probably see how cool it looks. Oh, yeah. We're very proud of this. This is actually not even available yet. This will be available, actually, technically, by the day that this episode drops, will be the day that it's available. This is called the Dawa beverage, and it is found at the Flavors of Wakanda and Hollywood backlot, so in California Adventure. So it's basically going to be available from the day that Wakanda Forever comes out in theaters until January 8th. So a couple months of this drink offered in the park. So we were super excited to discover it and try to make it. And it was a bit of a process to figure out, but we actually did it. We were very nervous about trying to get the layering right, and we did it. I was so proud of us. I actually made this one. He did it first, and then he was like, "I think you can do this." And so I was like, "I'll give it a shot," and I did it. So we did it. So it's a butterfly pea tea lemonade. So there is this tea that you can purchase. I think we got it on Amazon. That like when you make it and like steep it, it's kind of like a bluish green color. And then when you layer it on top of the lemonade, it's a magic trick and it turns purple. Yeah. It was like the coolest thing to watch. So
awesome.
We're pretty stoked about it.
Yeah. And then also, since we have a lot of this butterfly pea tea, there's a drink, if you're in Disney World, you know it, from Abracadabra that I think we might have to
That's probably
going
to be one of the next.
It's a magical drink. So, yeah, we're probably going to have to do
Now that we have this whole, like, pack of this tea, we have to make use of it with some Disney drinks, of course.
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited. But should we jump in? Let's give it a go.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm very full. It's good.
Ooh.
I believe it will be better all mixed in. I think this part is really just for show. But I think once the tea is mixed in with the lemonade, it probably has a little bit better flavor, maybe.
And yeah, we were thinking that before we made it. So we do have a spoon here. If you are a tea fan though, like I actually like tea. This is actually really, really good. But the thing is, then you get the tea and then the lemonade are not really a mix. So I think there is something of getting it, having that beautiful look, and then maybe just mixing it together. Then you get that real like butterfly tea lemonade.
Yeah. I may mix mine up and just make it a lighter purple color of a drink.
Do it. So yeah, super good. Go check out our reel on how we made this. It has ginger beer, vodka, a lot of other cool things. So make it for the release of Wakanda Forever. Can't bring it into the theaters. So just pound a couple back, then go see the movie.
Sneak it in and something that nobody will be able to see.
A little flask with like a homemade cocktail in it. Oh
it
man,
just
that's
lights
dedication.
up from the inside.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. But should we go ahead and jump in?
Yeah. So we had an episode quite a while back at this point that was about Disney music, but it wasn't as specifically dedicated to soundtracks from movies. We kind of talked about like the history of Disney music, whether that was in the parks or in movies. It was just kind of like an overall discussion about Disney music.
That I had so much fun making that episode because we talk about how there were multiple different composers early on in Disney films, and then the Sherman Brothers really became like the main guys to make all the music for Disney.
Yep.
And then that transitioned to Alan Menken, and then kind of where it's going now. And yeah, definitely go ahead and check that episode out. I believe it's called The Magic of Disney Music or something. You'll see Disney music and you'll be able to find it. But yeah, if you want more of a history and kind of like how styles have changed, definitely go check that out.
Yeah,
but tonight we're going to be
fun.
focusing on like our favorite soundtracks.
Specific soundtracks. And it is very hard to narrow it down because, as we all know, if we're Disney fans, like Disney music is hard to beat. And the ones in the movies hold such a special place in our hearts and probably all of your hearts because they just hit a chord, so to speak, in our hearts every time we hear them. We have so many favorites. It was kind of hard because there's like a handful of movies where there's like one specific song in that movie that is just like the best. And then the rest is kind of like not as notable. Yeah. So we do have a little list beforehand of those ones that we just have to mention because they're just that good. But the main list is going to be like the overall best soundtracks that we could list.
Do you want to hit it off first?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, wait. The second one's going to be, you should go second.
Yeah.
I'm putting you second because I know that you you love that one. So first off, there are a lot of good songs in this movie, although it just does not place on our top soundtrack list because we just have a lot of other ones that just stand out. But I think one of the
most iconic.
Yeah, most iconic. I was about to say best. I don't know. There might be other better songs, but most iconic and most cherished Disney songs, I believe, comes from Pinocchio. When You Wish Upon a Star. It can't be beat. Every time you hear that song, on a playlist or in the parks, it is pure magic.
It really is.
It is so good.
It is. It's really one of the best songs. I mean, every time I hear that, I feel like a little kid again.
That beginning opening to the song before the music even or the lyrics even come in.
Yep.
That whole like swell of magic. Oh my gosh.
And then hearing Jiminy Cricket start in on it. It's so good. So good. But next up, of course, we had to mention some Peter Pan songs. As a lot of you know, probably is like my favorite Disney movie of all time. So we had to mention Second Star to the Right and You Can Fly, which are like the main ones everybody knows from this movie. Yeah. Just, again, probably just about as special to me as When You Wish Upon a Star. Yeah. When I hear those ones, it's just,
And it really ties me back into Peter Pan's flight, the ride.
Yes,
and just like going on that all the time when I was a kid. And
such good songs. So good.
Yeah. Next up, we had to add Jungle Book with Bare Necessities and I Want to Be Like You. Amazing songs that are just, they were kind of different from where, Disney was kind of going. A little more, I don't even know what you would call it. Yeah, upbeat, kind of.
More like goofy.
Yeah, from where Disney was. So different type of style. I love it. And I guess almost not jazz, but like, what is that? almost kind of like a New Orleans-y influence, I guess, with like
Kind
the
of.
brass and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
lots of brass. That's true.
But yeah, we had to add those in there. It didn't hit our top soundtracks, but those two songs are just like such staples in Disney music. So I had to add them there.
So good. Next up, we have some songs from Lilo and Stitch. We had this actually on the top soundtracks list for a bit, and then I was like, okay, but really, it's just these two songs that are like super notable and everybody knows them. Everything else is kind of like Elvis in that movie, which of course is great, but it's like, you know, it's not really specific to the movie. So obviously, how the heck do you say it?
Hemele
no Lilo. Yes.
Don't even, oh man.
And then Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride, of course. They're so good, so fun, and just make me feel something.
We had to put this on there because that transition from like space and like Jamba and Fleetly and all that stuff to all of a sudden you get the title of the movie with Hemele no Lilo.
And
my gosh, and you're in Hawaii.
Turtle, like swimming in the ocean. It's just like the most beautiful thing.
Yeah. Anything Disney
songs.
Hawaii together is perfect. Mm-hmm. Yes, we have not even been to Alani, but
I wish.
You know,
one day.
We love both of those vibes, so we will have to go. The last one on this list, just kind of these one-off song mentions. Out There, Hunchback of Notre Dame, I think is
one of the most beautiful songs.
Yeah.
And heartbreaking at the same time.
At the beginning, yeah.
Yes, the whole beginning of that song is just like, oh my gosh. It's like heart-wrenching, but
I love that they've been incorporating this song into a lot more nighttime shows, right? Like in Happily Ever After, and then not Illuminations, but the Harmonious. Oh my gosh, Harmonious. Yep. Both have this song in there, and I'm so glad that it was put in there because it is such a beautiful melody, so powerful. Just to live one day out there, and then that music comes in with the bells and everything. Come on, how do you not get emotional? The
build up of it, like it starts out so sad, and then it just gets more and more like triumphant. Oh, it's so good,
incredible,
such a good song.
And there's more songs from Hunchback too. We struggled so much whether we're gonna put this on the soundtrack, but the main factor is that we didn't watch this too much when we were kids. So a lot of these movies that are on our best soundtracks, we have more of an emotional tie to it. I don't know why we just never really. I think my parents were probably afraid that I would have like nightmares as a kid, so we didn't really, like with movie. Hellfire and stuff like that.
So dark.
So I didn't watch it too much as a kid, but even like Bells of Notre Dame, Topsy Turvy, amazing songs on this album, but just there's the emotional connection to this movie isn't as strong as some other ones.
Yeah,
but
same.
With that, should we jump into number 15?
Yes. So the actual movie soundtracks. So starting 15, working our way down to number 1. We're starting with Cinderella, which is like my favorite princess and princess movie. I love this one. And we kind of went back and forth because we were just kind of trying to think like what songs apart from like the main ones everyone knows would be enough to make it onto the list. And I think that there's definitely enough, such as Dream is What Your Heart Makes, So This Is Love, the work song, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, and of course the main title, which I think when anyone hears that, they know what it's from. Like it's so good. I love this movie so much. The music is so good and had to make it on the list, even though it is last.
A lot of these movies, the main titles are just so great. Like I just remember popping in that VHS, and then the movie starts after you rewound the whole movie.
Yeah,
and then you finally get the commercials, that main title that just. They have these amazing like overtures, and it just puts you right into the movie. And I definitely need to watch an old Disney movie soon. It's been a while.
I know, and I need like an old VHS player, and to like go to the thrift store to just buy a bunch of.
We did have one like a few years ago, and then it broke.
It finally conked out on us, but I want to get another one. There's nothing like watching Disney movies on VHSs. Nothing will beat it. I don't care. I mean, yes, it's easier with Disney Plus, but the nostalgia.
I know.
Of the VHS.
So good. So next up we have Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And it's not like we listen to all these songs, from this movie all the time. I'm not like, I want to put I'm Wishing.
Yeah.
But the
So
fact
classic,
that,
though.
it's so classic. The movie in and of itself, right? First full-length feature animated film. But then the fact that Walt Disney came up with the idea before Snow White to sync music and sound effects to a moving picture, like an animated moving picture. And then he carried on that concept with music and with sounds and all that stuff to his first full-length animated film. And you do have, so many amazing songs on here. Like I said, I'm Wishing. What was it called? With a Smile? And
With a
Song?
smile and
With
a
a smile
song.
and a song.
Yeah.
Whistle While You Work, Hi Ho. And then the score of the film is just beautiful as well.
good.
Oh, Someday My Prince Will Come.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't
Wow.
know.
How did we not get that on the list?
Yeah, I know. We just like jotted quick ones down as we were thinking, and then it was like, oh my God, Someday My Prince Will
missed
Come.
them, yeah.
Amazing.
Such a good one, too.
But yeah, so Snow White and Seven Dwarfs comes at number 14.
Yep. That's a good one. But next up is Hercules. Another one that we were like iffy on adding completely to the list, but it had to be on here. Obviously, Go the Distance. It's like,
That's up there with Out There.
yes, one
like,
of
it's
the
so
top,
epic.
best, most epic moving songs that
Yeah.
Disney has, I think. I love that song so much. And to be very honest, Hercules was not a movie that I watched much, if ever, growing up. If I recall, I don't know why. I just never really saw it. But at some point I heard the song later on after I had like fallen in love with Disney. And I was like, oh my gosh, this song is so good. And now I have such an appreciation for the movie. And of course I've watched it and everything. But such a good song. Obviously one of the best. But also there's The Gospel Truth, Zero to Hero, Won't Say I'm in Love, and A Star is Born, which are all such classics as well. Such a good, fun soundtrack.
Puts me in a good mood.
Yeah,
Every
so
time
much
I'm
like
listening to a
gospel,
Disney
like,
playlist,
just
I'm just
upbeat.
let's go. Yeah.
So happy. So had to be on the list. It's at number 13.
Shout out to the Muses.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes, they've got it going on.
Yeah. Next up at number 12, we have Frozen.
I almost feel like this should have been higher up on the list, I guess.
Yeah, I know, but the other ones are so
Yeah,
good,
we
too.
have. It's hard. It's very, very hard.
I think the reason why it's at number 12, so obviously Disney overplayed a lot. Let It Go was on every single nighttime show that you saw.
I was
anywhere
over
you
it
went.
for a while.
I was, yeah, and I was like,
super
oh,
over
I
it.
hate Let It Go, and now I'm like, oh no, it's
Now
freaking
I
killer stuff,
understand.
yeah.
I love it, and I see how beautiful the songs are and how
Ooh, although
iconic they are.
Let It Go or Into the Unknown. I love Into the Unknown, and actually one of my favorite Frozen songs is Something's Never Changed. And I love that one. And so we ended up, even though we love the songs at number 2, it does not make it on our list. We do think that Frozen 1 actually has more bops than Frozen 2, although we love Into the Unknown and Something's Never Changed. And there's a lot of, oh my gosh, what's the other one?
Very like sad ones at number 2 that are just kind of like
Show Yourself, though. Oh, that's epic. And that's in the new Fantasmic at Disney World. Awesome. Show Yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, Frozen, Let It Go, obviously overplayed, but love Frozen Heart, First Time in Forever, Love is an Open Door, Do You Want to Build a Snowman? And then In Summer.
All classics.
So good.
They're all going to go down in Disney history,
Yeah.
and 20 or 50 years, those are going to be songs that everybody knows
For
from
sure.
childhood.
Quick little story. There was a talent show that was happening like for a community event, and they wanted me to be Olaf, and I sang In Summer. I do not sing, but I said I'm gonna take one for the team. I wore this weird suit, like white, like crawl space suit, like a worker suit with a little pillow in there. I was Olaf. I made a little carrot nose. It was the worst looking costume in the world, but I pulled it
did it,
together,
though.
and I think I did a
I
pretty
was
good
not
job.
there for that event, but I did see video of it. And
Yeah,
it was pretty great.
that's pretty beautiful. I was
Pretty
very
great.
impressed. Yeah.
And everybody loved it. So
Yeah.
I can't remember. I can't even recall exactly what you looked like at this point, but
Yeah, it was bad. And one pant leg kept
falling
Falling
down. I
down.
do remember that.
And I think there's a rip in it too. So, I mean, I was wearing clothes underneath it. That would
That's
have been bad.
I'm glad.
Oh, man, that would not have been good.
Fun times.
But,
That was a long time ago,
That
actually.
was, yeah.
A lot of years ago.
For sure.
But next up, we have Mulan.
Yeah.
Such a good soundtrack. Oh my gosh, I love this movie and the soundtrack. Obviously, Make a Man Out of You is such a good one. You'll Bring Honor to Us All, Reflection, Girl Worth Fighting For. Those are all such good songs that really make this overall soundtrack one of the best. It's such a good soundtrack.
Yeah, Make a Man of You is just, I mean, how do
Gets
you
me
not
so
get so
pumped.
amped? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, probably the most, like, impactful or like uplifting, like,
Yeah.
let's just get things done.
No kidding.
You know?
And Reflection. Oh my gosh, I just want to cry every time I hear that one. From Making the Magical Map.
Oh,
That
yes.
whole part with the princesses, I think it was Tangled, not Snow White, I'm so sorry.
Wait, Tangled, Snow White, and Mulan.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Mulan. And oh my gosh, it was the most beautiful medley of their songs.
I
and
love that
when
Princess medley.
Reflection comes in, it's just so emotional.
So amazing.
Great song.
Yeah. So Mulan was at 11. We're now at number 10. We're getting into our top 10, everybody. And I'm so
hard.
curious what your guys' thoughts on this, because it's really
Yeah.
hard, because
It's very personal.
we mainly were going for, lyrical songs, but there's some soundtracks that have killer scores. And
It's
and
both.
it's
It's a combo of both. It's lyrics and music. And I
Yeah.
mean, they go hand in hand for so many of these soundtracks.
yeah. So good. And we're leaving out Pixar too. Maybe we'll have to do
Yeah.
a Pixar one sometime. That would kind of would be focusing more on scores, because
Yeah.
it's, just that moving music. But so
True.
good. And number 10, we have Tangled. So, I mean, another Where Let It Go was that one that stood out. See the Light from this movie, that was used in a lot of shows too. Such a beautiful song. Such a beautiful scene that accompanied that
my
amazing
gosh.
song.
I love it.
Altogether, so perfect. Then When Will My Life Begin? Love that one. One time at my old company, I like walked in, they were playing that song, and I was so happy. I was like, ooh, there's another Disney worker here. But I always think of that moment when I hear that song, and it put me in a good mood for the rest of the day.
I love that.
Always a great song.
Such a good one.
I've Got a Dream. So fun. And then Kingdom Dance. So awesome.
I did not know the name of that one, because it's not one that comes on playlists, and it's not one that you hear often, but it's the scene where she's back in Corona, her kingdom land, and she's doing the dance with all the
And they're all tying the hair. Oh,
It's a beautiful scene.
it is so great.
So good.
Shout out to Alan Menken for a lot of these.
Always. He's the
Another Alan
best.
Menken coming up.
Yes. One of my favorites. Pocahontas. Obviously, we know Riverbend, Just Around the Riverbend, and Colors of the Wind. Those are classics and favorites. But there's also the Mine, Mine, Mine song, which always gets stuck in my head and drives me crazy, but it is still a classic.
Yeah.
And then Steady's the Beating Drum, and The Farewell, which is the last song of the movie, but it's it incorporates the score of all the songs
Yeah.
in one, and it is the most beautiful thing. If you have not listened to it, just go look it up on Spotify or something, because I think I tear up every time I listen to this song or compilation of songs, because there's no lyrics, but just the melody of all of those songs put together. also the song that is not technically in the movie, but it is a part of this, that is called If I Never Knew You.
It was a deleted song, right?
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
But it's a song that John Smith sings to Pocahontas. It is like one of the most beautiful and emotional songs. It should have been in the movie. I love it so much, but it's a part of this farewell. Just go listen to it if you haven't. It's so beautiful.
And the way it, I love that. It's the music. Up. Yeah, the music builds, and then the music swells, and then they bring in that chorus.
Yep.
I'm not gonna do it. But
no
then the chorus comes in. The vocals are matching everything in the music, and it's like, I'm going to cry my eyes out.
Yeah.
And as Pocahontas is like on the rock looking out at the ship, and it ends right there, it's like,
it's too much.
Dude, come on, Alan Menken.
I know.
Again.
I feel like I always like talk way too much about this song and this part, but it is so good, you guys. It's so like epic. One of my ultimate favorites. So
yeah,
just look it up for me.
Oh yeah, so good. So number 8, we have Princess and the Frog. Great. I mean, amazing. You already know. Good. Down in New Orleans, almost there. Friends on the Other Side, great villain song. Scary. Oh my gosh.
Super spooky.
When We're Human, dig a little deeper. And then the Down in New Orleans, like her version at the end. Yeah. Amazing. I just love I love New Orleans. We had a great time when we went down there. Love New Orleans Square, one of my favorite lands. I think pretty much my favorite land. That and Adventureland. But the music just makes me think of the parks, makes me think about the magical city that is New Orleans. And and it's just so happy for most of it. I love Lewis playing the horn. And yeah, I mean, it's
so good.
It makes me...
It's so fun.
Happy.
All of these songs are just like inspirational and fun and happy. And there's just nothing else to say.
Nothing else to say. Perfect.
It's so good. But we also have on here Moana coming in at number 7.
Yeah.
Had to be on here because like every single song is a banger. They're all so good. I mean, from the first scene of the movie with Tulo Tagaloa.
That was really good.
I'm just thinking of how they say it like in the song, and it sounds like that. Innocent Warrior, another super emotional, beautiful song. Where You Are, obviously so good. How Far I'll Go, a classic. We Know the Way, You're Welcome, and
Welcome to Panther.
Yeah, that one.
That one, like, yeah.
I never sound natural saying these, so we just came in to help out. But yes, so many good songs. We're not a huge fan of Shiny. It's never been like a favorite.
It's been
from
a
that
skip
one.
for us, but
it's usually a skip if it comes on. But regardless of that one song, the soundtrack is so good. We love Moana, and I remember when it first came out, the movie, we had this soundtrack going all the time.
Oh yeah,
like constantly.
Shout out to Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, he killed that. He did a great job.
In the Heights, Moana.
Yeah,
and
so many.
Yeah. And another movie that we're going to be talking about, actually. Wait, were you done with Moana? Yeah. I know there's so much to say. But the other movie, Little Mermaid, he's going to be doing, he's going to be working with Alan Menken to do the music for this. And he's actually writing a few new songs.
That's
for
crazy.
This. Yeah,
they're working on it together. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Alan Menken, love Lin-Manuel. That's always a tongue twister.
Yeah, that is tough.
Lin Miranda. Yeah, no, amazing. So really excited to see what they do with that. But the animated movie comes in at number 6. We have Fathoms Below. Awesome beginning. The main titles, Alan killed it.
You know exactly, another one that you just know exactly what it's from. When you hear that main title start, it's like,
oh, so good. And it just kind of makes you almost
feel like you're underwater.
Sounds like you're like falling under water and kind of being transported to that world.
Exactly.
Oh, so good.
It's so well done.
Part of your world, amazing. Which, by the way, I believe it was in the documentary Howard that they talked about. This song was actually some people wanted to cut this song from the movie, and they were like,
Ooh, I'm so glad they didn't.
This is such a pivotal moment in the movie. We need to keep this in there. So thankfully they fought and they kept Part of Your World in there. Under the Sea, that really I feel like that was one of the first songs at that time that really kind of brought about like this energy, to Disney movies. Love it. And then Kiss the Girl, amazing. Another funny story here. When I was like 10 years old, me and my friends played a wedding for one of our friends' sisters, and they want to kiss the girl
10?
there. No, okay, I was like 12. I don't know.
Like you played music at a wedding at 10 years old?
We played music, yeah. We also played Pirates of the Caribbean theme to that. We weren't in charge of the set list. It wasn't like these kids just playing random stuff. They were Disney fans, so we played Pirates of the Caribbean. We did Kiss the Girl. And yeah, so every time I think of Kiss the Girl, I think of me on the drums playing Kiss the Girl. So at a wedding, yes.
Wow, he started out early at weddings.
I did.
He DJs weddings now, and
as a side job.
10 years old apparently. He was.
Yeah, he gets his weddings while they're
playing music.
But yeah, so Little Mermaid #6, we love you.
So good. Number 5, obviously, we had to have Beauty and the Beast on here. Such a good one. Obviously, the prologue, everybody knows. Once again, it's just like, you know what it's from, and it just gets you in the zone for that movie.
Whimsical. Yeah.
So good. Belle, obviously. Everybody loves that song. Gaston, Be Our Guest, Something There, and Beauty and the Beast, the main song.
Yeah.
All are so classic, so memorable. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. It's one of the best soundtracks where another one where almost every single song is notable, one that we all know.
I think Belle, just the opening up of the morning in that small little town, it's such a great way to start the movie. But then also I think that whole scene inspired us to go to Strasbourg, France. We traveled there and we were like, this little town looks like Beauty and the Beast. And so such a fun scene.
It's obviously not on the list, but I just thought of it right now in the Broadway and also in the live action of Beauty and the Beast is the song. Oh my gosh, now I'm blanking on what it's actually called, but
the one that
the Beast sings.
It
is one of the most beautiful songs too.
Evermore. Yes. Awesome.
Oh my gosh, such a beautiful song. I just had to mention it because I never knew it until I think probably not until the live action movie came out, and then I heard it as the Broadway version and everything too, and it's just such a beautiful, emotional song.
Yeah.
I just had to mention that one too.
It's
but
so good.
Of course, nothing tops the animated Beauty and the Beast. It is one of the best.
So good. Next up, we have at number 4, Aladdin. So we have one jump ahead. So good. Friend Like Me, Whole New World, Prince Ali, and then we also added The Marketplace in here because we do love that little sound, and our son loves that song.
Yeah.
So,
it's so good, and you just feel all the Aladdin vibes when you hear it. It's I think it's played right towards the beginning of the movie. It's not the first scene, but it's kind of right when you're getting into Agrabah or something.
Yeah.
And it's
I think it's called the Arabian Nights, right? The first opening song.
Oh yeah, it's Arabian Nights, of course.
A Whole New World, I think, is just one of the best romantic Disney songs. Except for one that we're going to be talking about in a little bit. But A Whole New World is just groundbreaking, so good. And then obviously all the other fun ones. How can you not love Friend Like Me? So good, classic. So energetic.
Love that part in World of Color too.
Yeah.
So fun.
So good.
Such a good song. Okay, coming in at number 3, we have Mary Poppins.
We're mainly animated movies. This has a little partial animation.
It's Disney.
P.L. Travers got really mad because of the animation, so we're counting it as an animation.
It included both, and this is just Disney in general. This just so happens to be one of the only non-animated, but so many good songs. Another just so many classics. It's like hard to even put it at 3. Like it almost could be number 1, especially with all the like Walt influence on this movie and the songs. Like it is so nostalgic. I love it so much. So the overture is beautiful and so classic. A spoonful of sugar, Jolly Holidays, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Feed the Birds, Chim Chim Cheree, Step in Time, and Let's Go Fly a Kite.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like just about every song in the movie. No, not really. It's a really long movie.
It's a lot, yeah.
But that was what we narrowed it down to from that movie, because those are just some of the best. And
wasn't Feed the Birds like one of Walt Disney's
one of his favorite songs?
Yeah.
It might have been his favorite song.
Yeah, yeah.
It's such a beautiful song. Oh my gosh, and that scene from Saving Mr. Banks. I mean, who knows that? I kind of doubt that actually happened in real life, but that part.
I think he used to, the Sherman Brothers used to like play, songs for him and all that stuff. He had the piano in his office and stuff. Oh,
yeah.
So cool.
Well, if that part happened, I would be really happy. I love that scene so much. And it's so beautiful. And I love that song so much. But yes, every song from Mary Poppins is just iconic.
Yeah.
It's one of the best movies. And yeah, one of my favorites. And I actually really, really love Mary Poppins Returns.
Yeah.
And a lot of the songs from that as well.
Triple O Light.
Yes. So many good ones on there too, but it didn't make it on the list because we already are talking about the first one, and it's of course going to be higher on the list. So
yeah,
such a good movie, such a good soundtrack. Coming in at number 3.
Do you want to get? You know what? I could do number 2, but I do want to give you one song because you have such a special memory to that. But number 2 is going to be, and these last like 5 could really be interchanged. But
I mostly number 2 and number 1 is kind of interchangeable for me personally.
Yeah.
But number 2 we're talking about first.
Yeah. Number 2, Phil Collins. Let's hear it for you because Tarzan is our number 2. There's just something about, and there's a lot of other movies that have even more kind of like hits to it and like, have more, I don't know, romantic songs where this one kind of doesn't lyrically. Yeah. But I think what Phil Collins did to this album is just so great. And we just loved Tarzan growing up. We had a very strong connection to this movie growing up.
And
so
we
Two
were
Worlds,
pretty little when it came out. So I feel like it was one that we kind of grew up with. Yeah.
Yeah. Two Worlds, Son of Man, Strangers Like Me, Trashing the Camp. And then also, you have to talk about this one because it's just always so sweet.
Of course. You'll Be in My Heart, which is the song that Kala sings to Tarzan. Is such a beautiful song. And I think I told this story before on the show, but in case you haven't heard that, when we drove our son home from the hospital, when he was born, I was like sitting in the back with him, of course, and we had on these like Disney lullabies in the car, and there was this lullaby of this song, and it was just like this moment. I was just like staring at his little face, and it just reminded me so much of the movie too.
Crucial, yeah.
It was so special, and I was just like bawling my eyes out. So I always think of that when I hear that song, and part of the reason why this movie's soundtrack is so special to me. I love every song from it. That one is particularly special, but all of them just get me pumped aside from that one because they're all like upbeat aside from that one.
Yeah, I love it. And this was kind of, close to that era that Alan Menken was doing killer work with all of his other songs. But then, Phil Collins got to do one that was all by himself. And then this next one that hits number 1 was also kind of in the Alan Menken era. But they gave the songs to someone else who did with it as he pleased. And I think it came out really, really good.
Elton.
Elton and Hans Zimmer, but Elton was really kind of the guy here. But Lion King comes in at number 1. We have you guys know, Circle of Life. Can't wait to be king. Be prepared. Hakuna Matata. Can you feel the love tonight? This Land. Oh my gosh.
The list just
That's
goes
like
on and on.
yeah.
Yep.
King of Pride Rock. Amazing. I mean, how do you, from the moment that this movie starts, I think that's one of the most in one note, you know exactly what movie it is, you know? Oh, someone's yelling. Lion King. Perfect.
Yeah, Circle of Life.
And yeah, I mean, everything is so perfect about the music in this. Really fits like culturally to Africa, but also gives it like that good pop influence and everything. And you got your romance, you got your funny song, Hakuna Matata, you got your villain song, you got your epic songs.
Covers all the bases.
Yeah. It's so awesome. And then also the Broadway. We love the Broadway of this, and that has even more songs that are just so magical and just makes you so happy. And I mean, shout out to, you know, Elton Lebo M. I think I'm saying that right. Hans Zimmer for just creating such
masterpiece.
Yeah, seriously, such a masterpiece.
Yeah, like you said, it really like covers all the bases. There's like a romantic, beautiful one. There's just fun, happy songs. There's just emotional songs. Like
oh yeah, when it even just comes to the score and with
and This
Simba
Land,
and his
like
father.
you were
Oh my
saying.
gosh.
Yeah, it's my gosh, the scene when Simba like sees the reflection of his father, of Mufasa, in the water and decides to go back to Pride Rock and he starts like running back. I think that is part of
I think that is this
Land.
This Land?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I'm trying to-
That scene, oh my gosh, like I just want to cry every time I hear that.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Oof.
I don't know. It's really hard for me with Lion King and Tarzan to like decide which one I love more, but
Lion King for me.
yeah.
But Tarzan is awesome too.
Yeah, I guess it has to be Lion King at number one.
Yeah.
But it's tough.
It is tough. But then also a lot of these are like based on my mood too, right? You know, there's sometimes that I'm really feeling Princess and the Frog and other times I'm feeling Moana. You know, it really depends on that mood. But this is pretty much what we had.
Yep.
You know,
That's what we
as we
narrowed
were
it
writing
down
it down. So tough. There's so many great Disney movies. And like you
Soundtracks.
mentioned earlier, yeah, if you want to listen more and just learn more about the history of Disney music, check out our other episode because we just had such a fun time breaking that down.
That
as
one was
well.
really fun.
Yeah, it was.
Now I want to
awesome.
go back and listen to it again.
I know.
It
Yeah.
was so fun.
Same here. But with that, I think that pretty much concludes our episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for being patient and waiting a week while we celebrated M's birthday.
Yes, and
last
thank you
week.
all to the love that I got on Instagram. I felt so special. It was a fun week. We got to do some good celebrating. So
Yeah, so much
my
fun.
last year of my 20s. Here we go.
Yeah.
30 next year for both of us.
Ooh, I know. It's going to be crazy. But next week, we have a very special guest on. We're going to have Cuckoo Culture, who is an amazing content creator. He has a YouTube channel where he just puts out amazing, fun videos, in-park videos, and just some stuff at his home too. So we're going to be talking to him about, you know, how he started his channel, like what really inspires him. We're also going to be talking about what it's like living in a Disney-made town because he lives in Celebration, Florida. So we're going to hear a little bit of an insight into living life in Celebration, Florida. We cannot wait to have him on.
Super excited.
Such an amazing guy. And so, man, I'm excited to have him on.
Yeah, don't miss
Really,
that
really
episode.
excited.
It's going to be really fun.
It is,
I'm
yeah.
excited.
But thank you all so much again for tuning in. Like we said, if you want to give us a like, a follow, a review, let us know. We appreciate the love so much. It helps out our show so much. And yeah, we just love you guys. And we will catch you guys next week.
See you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.